Now, there's two general types of biscuits. There's the flaky, kind of round pastry Bojangles biscuit. This is a drop biscuit. It's wet dough, it basically slops in the pan, it puffs up when it cooks, you break them apart, and it's gonna go with my soup tonight. So let's get started and make some drop biscuits. All right, you gotta use self-rising flour. This is Martha White. Self-rising means it's got baking soda, baking powder in it. I'm doing 2 cups. Now, again, this is not some type of Martha Stewart recipe where I'm gonna worry too much about that. Now, I ended up adding more baking powder, so I'm gonna do a tablespoon of that. And the general ratio, when you use 1 tablespoon of baking powder, you're gonna use about a 1/4 tablespoon of baking soda to go along with that. In case you don't know anything about this, those ingredients, when activated by heat, make the dough rise because they release carbon dioxide. All right, now I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of sugar. There we go. You could add salt if you want. I'm not gonna add any salt. And then let's go with 2 or 3 tablespoons of shortening. And again, this is not a very precise recipe. So what kind of shortening do you say? Well, you can use Crisco or bear grease in a can, but basically this is good old manteca. This is lard. And what you want to do is cut it in. Okay, now before we do that, what I do is I take the leftover lard that's in the measuring spoon anyway, and I use that to lubricate the pan. So just get yourself a round pan, a square pan, I don't care what kind of pan, but make sure that it's kind of lubricated up. And now you want to work this into the dry, floury dough a little bit. You want to cut it up. And then we're going to add, now the recipe calls for at least, 1 1/3 cups of buttermilk. This is goat milk. And you know what? That's how much I'm adding. I don't even know what that was. Now I'm going to mix this together. It's going to be a very wet, very sloppy dough. We're going to drop it in. As the name implies, drop biscuits. You know what? If it's too wet, we can add some flour. If it's too dry, we can add some more milk. All right, now you can take this scoop. Again, I'm not measuring anything. And we're gonna start in the middle. That's gonna be 1 biscuit. We'll keep plopping them around the edge. There's a biscuit. Go around over here. There's a biscuit. Go over here. There's a biscuit. And you get the idea. All right, 425 for about 20 minutes, plus or minus, whenever it turns brown on the top. We'll get back in just a few. All right, it hasn't even been 20 minutes, but it's already browning on the top and starting to split apart. Beautiful. So I'm gonna let it sit here and cool. And basically what you do when you're eating this, I'm gonna scoop one out. Look at flaky, moist. Mmm.